52-year-old James Harrison has been killed by police after he shot 3 people, fatally wounding 2 of them. At 11:58 p.m. on Tuesday the 23rd of May, authorities responded to 2 Ligging Court in Johnston, Rhode Island, on a report of suspicious activity. Upon arrival, officers spoke with 44-year-old Thomas May, who said he heard banging noises coming from outside his daughter's bedroom window. He said that when he raised the window blinds, he saw his neighbour, James Harrison, outside his home with a ladder, and then saw him run back toward his home next door. Officers did not find any signs of attempted forced entry or a ladder. However, Thomas reportedly requested to file a trespass order against James. Officers attempted to contact James at 4 Ligging Court without success. The following morning at around 7:30 a.m, an officer responded to James's home to try to contact him again. The officer spotted James in a dark Buick Encore, and he reportedly made a gesture consistent with shooting a firearm as the officer approached him on Simmonsville Avenue. As the officer drove into the driveway of 2 Ligging Court to turn around and follow James, he found Thomas's 15-year-old daughter on the front lawn of the home with apparent gunshot wounds. At around the same time the officer arrived, police received 2 separate reports of shots fired in the area. Additional officers responded to the home and discovered Thomas dead in the garage with a fatal gunshot wound to the head. Officers then entered James's residence and found his mother, 83-year-old Janet Harrison, deceased also with a gunshot wound to the head. Thomas's daughter told police that James was the shooter, and she was transported to the Hasbro Children's Hospital and is recovering from non-life-threatening injuries. Police then issued a lookout alert to local law enforcement agencies for James. A couple hours later, Cranston police initiated a car pursuit after locating James at the St. Anne Cemetery. His vehicle hit a Cranston police cruiser on Plainfield Pike in Cranston, near the Route 295 overpass, before he jumped the centre median and crashed into a rock. He was quickly surrounded by police, who ordered him to get out of the vehicle. After several minutes, he got out and pointed a handgun at the officers, who then fatally shot him. No officers were injured during the ordeal. The Johnston Police Department released a statement commending the assistance provided by the Cranston Police Department, the Providence Police Department and the Rhode Island State Police in swiftly locating this armed and dangerous individual. A 42-year-old man is behind bars and is accused of fatally shooting another man on Thursday morning. At 11:25 a.m. on the 25th of May, authorities responded to the 1300 block of 12th Street in Longview, Texas on reports of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found a deceased victim laying on the side of the road with a gunshot wound. The man was later identified as 45-year-old Martin King, and his death was ruled a homicide. During the investigation, police identified Michael Deshawn Jackson as a suspect in Martin's death. The following morning, he was taken into custody and interviewed by detectives. He was charged with murder and booked into the Gregg County Jail, where he remains on a $250,000 bond. Authorities did not disclose a motive in the shooting or how the men knew each other. The investigation into the matter continues. A double shooting that left a woman and a man dead on Friday morning is being investigated as a murder-suicide. Police identified the victims as 48-year-old Shawntae Harris and 66-year-old Steve Harris. At around 8:15 a.m. on the 26th of May, authorities responded to an apartment in the 4900 block of Lindenwood Avenue in St. Louis, Missouri after receiving a call for help after a woman had been found shot inside a bedroom. When first responders arrived at the scene, the woman had died from her injuries. A man was also found dead at the scene. The female victim's son reportedly found the body of his mother, and he called 911. Neighbours reported hearing arguing at the residence at around 8 a.m, followed by gunshots. The relationship between the victims is unclear. Police are investigating the case as a likely murder-suicide, as the investigation into the matter continues. 2 arrests have been made after a homeowner was fatally shot during an attempted robbery on Wednesday night. At 10:25 p.m. on the 24th of May, police responded to a ShopSpotter alert and a call of a shooting at a home along the 200 block of Park Avenue in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. When officers arrived at the premises, they found 36-year-old LaKendrick Powell unresponsive with a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities said that 21-year-old Sincere Davis went to LaKendrick's home that night intending to rob it and fatally shot LaKendrick before fleeing the scene. Rocky Mount police said that Sincere was on probation for a previous robbery conviction at the time. He's been charged with first-degree murder, shooting into an occupied dwelling, attempted robbery with a dangerous weapon, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Another suspect, 24-year-old Christopher Carr, was arrested and charged with accessory before the fact of first-degree murder, accessory after the fact of first-degree murder, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Both men are held at the Edgecombe County Jail without bond.